Hello guys, and this is uniwarriorJW, and we are back with another video with commands, like before. So if you watched my previous video, I will put a link in the description. I have covered Hanzo's Sonic Arrow, and this time I added a few more commands which will give you the ability to use its scatter arrow as well. So, as you know, the Sonic Arrow gives you vision of any players or enemies that would be behind the wall. Now, for some reason, this villager has suddenly the idea of not moving. Okay, thank you. Thank you for participating. So we have that. I also have a corridor, so I can put an, let's say, another. What should we put in it? I want another villager, actually. Let's take another villager. Another test subject, I mean. These villagers are not really real villagers. They are actually biological, artificial robots who has a mind of their own to actually go out of the corridor. Like so. So let's now border it up for our test subject. So, test, as you can see, it has a specific range, as you can see. So with this we can see enemies through walls, like we want to. But now we have the scatter arrow, and the cool thing is that the sonic arrow and the scatter arrow don't share the same cooldown, so you can use this at the same time. So I'm gonna give you an example of how to use. So you shoot the arrow and a bunch of arrows will appear. Now you should be careful because it shoots a lot of arrows, as you can see, and I think you can actually hurt yourself. But for instance, you're gonna try to hit one of those villagers there and go. I hit him, but I didn't kill him. Probably not enough arrows in his face. But yeah, let's use it on this guy. Well, let's first use the sonic arrow so that we can see him. So you know that the scatter arrow is pretty dangerous if you use it in corners. But for some reason he survives. Okay, let's see how much damage he has. And go. Okay, now he's dead. Okay, so it doesn't really do a lot of damage, but like in the actual game you also don't really insta-kill him, but you can every time modify the damage a little bit, but then you have to change all of these commands. So let's go over the commands really quickly, how it works. So first I add a few more objectives. Actually I also add an objective over here, which puts in the cooldown of the scatter arrow as well as the detection when I shot it, as well as the thing for the arrows, an objective for arrows that I will show you why it's useful for. So then we also have this command which gives you the bow, yeah, which pretty much gives you the bow for scatter arrow. So now you get sonic arrow and scatter arrow when registering as Hanzo. Okay, so then we have this command, which is or this command row, which is pretty much the same as this one, which detects if you used your scatter arrow bow, and that modifies the arrow with a special tag. Then this command line right here will detect if the arrow that you just shot with that special tag landed on the ground, and then it will summon a bunch of arrows in different direction. Now I can't do anything, as you can see, okay, I can't do anything about the particle effects. I kinda think it's cool, because also in the game it has like this trail effect, but I don't know. Apparently in this snapshot or in this version of the game, arrows have apparently particle effects. Okay. So then we remove every time 1 point every tick from the cooldown. We're also gonna give the player that has a cooldown of 1. Right now I have 0, but let's say I reached 1, I will get my bow back. A little bit different from that mechanic over there, because there we remove the arrow and then give the player a bow. But here, because we're working with a bunch of arrows, it doesn't really work that way. And then this command block will give every secondary arrow that has been shot an objective that will actually summon some more arrows in every single direction like before. Now, the reason why these arrows actually only shoot once is because the scatter arrows, the scatter arrow, so normally it would shoot constantly, but those arrows only have a life of like 5 ticks, or even, I think even 1 tick. If I go over here, there is a life tag. If that reaches, so if the arrow reaches the ground, this will start counting, and if it reaches 1200, which is at 1 tick away, then it will despawn. So that's why it only spawns 1 arrow. Only the first arrow that you shoot is removed with a command block. Okay, I really like it. So you can actually use the sonic arrow and the scatter arrow at the same time, and it still works. So after a few seconds, I will get my scatter and my sonic bow back. So this is my scatter bow, and this is my sonic bow. Currently, the scatter bow cooldown is a little bit smaller than the sonic cooldown, but I can still tweak those things. And like before, I will give you a document with easy to understand lines, so you can change the things for yourself and maybe make it even possible for multiplayer. But yeah, that was the little demo about the scatter arrow. If you learned something new, leave a like. If you have other ideas, put it in the comments. And if you want to see more, if you want to see more abilities, and if you want to know when the one command build is done, subscribe to my channel, and then I will let you know. And I will see you guys in another episode. Bye bye. So you can pretty much fall into a lava pit and come back, which is pretty cool. In any direction actually. Doesn't matter. So that's something really cool. And then I'm just gonna make myself a little bit more simpler, just by putting an iron block there. It's gonna be a little bit more easier to do. So if I want to go in this direction, then this should be the block I break at the last moment. So let's unpower that one, and then let's unpower this one. And then again, I'm pushed very smoothly to the other direction.